something completely different.
This is Jeffrey Knight guy from Janice Live. He even spells his name like an asswipe. Jeffry. Cool, bro. Your mom didn't know how to spell when she gave birth to you.
Happy Hot Topic.
Let's go.
First at 6, it's been a week since that boat crashed into the Clearwater Ferry, killing one person.
Yeah, you know, that whole thing.
And injuring 10 others. Several passengers are now speaking out, contradicting what the driver of the boat that hit the ferry is saying. Fox 13's Kylie Jones is live for us in Tampa tonight. So, Kylie, what are those passengers saying?
What up, Kylie?
Allie, one couple spoke with us, and they were on the ferry that night with their young children. As you can imagine, as they're dealing with the trauma from this crash, their attorney is now saying some of the statements that have been made over the last week as insult to injury.
Oh, jeez.
It's been just over a week since a deadly crash out on the water.
It's draining. It's emotionally draining.
Yeah, it's emotionally draining seeing Jeffry. That's how his name's spelled. Jeffry. You loser. It's knowing how he will get away with it.
Brenda Alvarez, her husband Marcos Pacheco, and their kids were on the Clearwater Ferry when, according to FWC, a boat operated by local businessman Jeffrey Knight slammed into the back of it.
We were going just to have a good time with our family.
Yeah, you know, just trying to have a good Sunday night before the work week, and then this moron comes along.
As Pacheco, Alvarez, and their children are recovering,
they're dealing with the trauma, they're dealing with their injuries, but ultimately now they're dealing with someone blaming them.
Yeah, this guy has real big balls. Well, actually, he has small D energy.
The crash, Knight's attorney has written multiple letters to FWC investigators. In them, he said Knight had someone on his boat call 911. He tried to render aid, stayed on scene until first responders got there, and only left because he thought his boat might sink. The letters also called into question the lighting and navigation of the ferry. Now, Pacheco and Alvarez, joined by their attorney, are responding to those statements.
Dun, dun, dun.
We could see them. We could see
Yeah, you know, Jeff was probably so coked up, like a moron.
them, and then they're claiming that they couldn't see our ferry, but they could see that we were being distracted by dolphins. It's almost insulting.
Really is. The rich white guy gets away with it. I know, good.
Although Knight's attorney has said he acted lawfully and responsibly after the crash, the couple's attorney says otherwise. In the first letter, Knight's attorney stated multiple witnesses have reported that the ferry appeared inadequately illuminated, and that in the moments before the collision, the captain and many passengers were distracted by dolphins in the area. But the couple says they didn't see any dolphins.
We would have been the first to point them out because we have toddlers. And, you know, we always like to see things that are going on around us.
Got it.
And we would have liked to point out the dolphins, and we were to have seen dolphins.
On Monday, Fox 13 received a third letter that Knight's attorney wrote to the FWC, calling on the Coast Guard to investigate the ferry's use of warning horn signals ahead of the crash, saying, quote, multiple witness statements and press accounts indicate that no such horn signal was made prior to the crash. As the FWC's investigation continues, Alvarez and Pacheco want to see it come to a resolution.
It's not going to happen, no.
So their family can move forward.
We're not here to point fingers.
I'll point fingers. Fuck Jeff Knight.
We were put in a position that we shouldn't have been, that our kids shouldn't have been. So we just want to be able to heal and move on and be there for our kids.
And be there for their kids. And then there's this.
Hello and welcome to ABC Action News at 11. I'm Kyle Berger. Thanks for joining us tonight.
What a cool ass name.
Tonight marks 1 week since the tragic Clearwater Ferry crash that took the life of Jose Castro and seriously injured 10 more people. As Castro's family laid him to rest this weekend, calls for justice are growing louder.
We can't let this go unnoticed. We can't let his life be just gone in an instant like that.
See, Jeff Knight, if you're listening to this is what you call us, because you're a mutant.
We need justice for him. We need justice for these girls that he's leaving behind.
I-Team reporter Kylie McGivern spoke with a retired Tampa Police Department Marine officer about why it can take time before an investigation is completed, and the state's attorney's office determines whether to file charges.
Oh, geez. This is very sketchy. To me, this is one of those cases where I think the rich and elite will protect him.
We're in Clearwater near the crash site, and with each passing day, there are more questions and concerns from the community about why Jeffry Knight has not been charged.
Because in the Tampa Bay area, like I said yesterday, the rich and elite get protected. Mike Cowhead Calta shoving Bubba's girlfriend to the ground, protected. Mike Calta selling a sex tape, protected. And I'm not trying to use my old boss as an example, but there's other reasons and there's other times that, Nick Hogan, you get away with things if you have power in Tampa. And then Tampa's like, why does the rest of the country hate us?
He was driving the boat that crashed into the Clearwater Ferry that was carrying 44 passengers at the time.
Captain Randy Lopez, the retired officer who investigated hundreds of boat crashes during his 33-year career and now owns and operates a boater safety training business, says the investigation could take 30 to 45 days.
Why? She should have had some arrests that night.
It's been 1 week. FWC is leading the investigation.
Yeah, and I used to produce crappy fishing radio shows, but I used to hear about how sketchy the FWC is. They're protecting their own.
Which he says is the best thing, to have a third party with investigators specifically assigned to this incident. What you don't want, Lopez says, is to rush an arrest if there are ultimately charges.
Arrested for something? Someone died.
And have someone
I don't like that.
Get off on a technicality.
I don't like you, Jeff. Screw you, douche.
They're meticulously going through the evidence.
And in this specific
Are they? They're trying to figure out where to throw the evidence away.
case, there is a lot of evidence to review.
They're going to look at every possible thing, and what they're going to do is they're going to come up with the very best conclusion.
The conclusion is that they're protecting their own, and they're scumbags.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
It's time for Hoppe in the morning.
RyanHoppeRadio.com.
Happy Hour will be right back.
Whenever we're going outside, all I smell is poop.
In the nuts, and we'll call it a day.